everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tanya and I'd like to express a huge thank you to everybody. Thank you for sticking around and being patient with me. I recently took a short break because my father had passed away back on the 1st of July and I just wanted to, show some recognition to that by not coming on and filming and posting so regularly. Moving on. So today is my first video back in quite some time and I thought I'd start off with something that I feel relatively comfortable with. I have been tagged in a few tag videos, so I will eventually get to those, but of course I'll be a little bit late and I'll be a bit behind the 8 ball, but that's okay, at least they'll still be done. And I have a couple of other review videos and ideas and things to put forward. So plus there's a little birthday haul in there because I did have my birthday at the end of July. So I did splurge and spoil myself. So if you're new to my channel, then welcome, and welcome to a few new subscribers that I've acquired over this past month. So thank you very much. I hope you'll consider sticking around if you like my content. Okay, let me get right onto it. The item I thought I would review today is my Coach Cassidy. I'm surprised at the number of views I received for this video because obviously Coach is, having a huge comeback, and it could be because of their new creative director. And anyway, I got into Coach at the end of last year, and the reason I got into Coach because prior to the end of last year, in all honesty, I started becoming a bit of a bag snob. Video of that coming up. Anyway, and I started becoming a bag snob, and I was so easily influenced by many of the other big YouTubers who said, oh, I started off with Coach, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I was gifted a Coach bag as a gift by a group of students at the end of last year when they finished their last final senior year at school as a little thank you. And I started really recognizing the quality, and I thought, my gosh, the leather is beautiful. So I started looking more and more and more. And you know how it is when a woman says, just looking, she's never just looking. Well, I'm not. I'm looking, but with a purpose, with an intention. Anyway, so I saw this one. Plus, I was also influenced by Amy Elizabeth when she purchased her beautiful red Cassidy with the roses. And so I was looking on the Coach outlet site, who does not ship to Australia. How rude. And I came across this one, and this is the platinum. So this is the platinum quilted Cassidy bag, and as you can see, it's got these quiltings. So it's got the large quiltings, and then it's got through some of them it's got the stitching that goes through and makes them half. They've probably done that so that it's not too reminiscent of Chanel, because otherwise it would look very Chanel-esque. But anyway, that's that, and it's a decent size. I don't know, I don't own any Chanel bags, but I'm guessing this is probably the size of a medium large classic flap. But let me just say, I love the size. It's perfect. It holds so much, or it can hold a smaller amount. It depends on you. So let me just talk to you about the dimensions of this bag. Let me show you what fits in it. Let me tell you what I've noticed about it. And then you can tell me what you think of it and what you think of Coach overall. One point of reference, this bag charm, which is also Coach, was not part of the purchase of the bag. This was gifted to me by the beautiful Lisa, who has her own channel, Lisa Loves Bags. Ding! You must go subscribe to her because she has a phenomenal collection, like phenomenal. Better than mine. Anyway, so let me talk to you about this bag. Okay, so I thought I'd start off with the dimensions of this bag and looking at the width. So from the widest point, because it does taper up a little bit. So across the bottom, we're looking at approximately from edge to edge like this, approximately 24.5 centimeters. So almost like a Speedy 25, which is about 9.5 inches. Then the height, and I'll just do it this way, but I will measure the actual height of the inner part of the bag. There's no point measuring, well, you could, because you can stuff the bag pretty well. So going from the top there to the bottom, so round about there, following the line of the curve, it's about 14 or 14.5 centimeters, which is about 5.5 inches roughly. And the depth, and I will just do the base because that's where the bulk of things will sit, I imagine. And the depth is 8 centimeters and just past 3 inches. Now, this bag is fantastic This bag is a lovely leather. I don't remember what type of leather it is, to be honest, but it obviously has the silver hardware. And what really struck me about this is the beautiful little silver studs. So depending on the lighting, this has quite a chameleon effect. It has like a silvery sheen to it, you know, where it does look quite platinum, silvery. And then as I'm looking at it now, it's got like a little bit of a very subtle pinky purple hue. And a lot of it is to do with the lighting that is reflected off the bag. The bag is great. It's a lovely shape. As you can see, it's quite deep. It does have a back pocket, which is excellent. And I do use it. I have bits and bobs in there. And the chain, the hardware is all silver. The chain is a lovely chain. It feels substantial. It feels like a good chain, but it doesn't feel like a heavy chain, you know, like my Gucci Dionysus. That one, that chain is heavy. You feel it. I quite like that. This one feels quite light, if you can hear it. So it's not very dense. It's probably hollow inside. I imagine they all are. And but it feels substantial at the same time. It doesn't feel weak or like it's going to give and break. So the beauty of this bag is that you can wear it shoulder bag style or crossbody and all. And the bag, of course, came with its own little silver, what are these called? Anyway, like a little hangy thingamajiggy, dog tag thingamajiggy. And I still have the plastic on it. I just left it on there. And it's cute. It's got the Coach New York on one side and it's plain on the other. It's almost, it's mirror quality. There you go, I got a mirror. Anyway, so that's that. So that comes with its own little D-ring attached there. And it just uses that little ball chain. Okay, the top of the bag has these beautiful silver grommets, and Coach is engraved on each of the grommets there. I've noticed that these grommets have taken on some superficial little scratches, and that's obviously because of the chain, the movement of the chain. And, you know, as you pull the chain through, you know, as you do this sort of thing, you know, it causes scratches. The front plaque is also beautiful, very reflective silver plaque thing here. This has picked up quite a few scratches, and I have to admit, very quickly. Now, look, I don't baby my bags, but I also don't throw them around. And all I can think is that, you know, as the chain has been moving against the bag and things like that, it has scratched up. So there are lots of little superficial scratches across the front that, you know, you can't buff out because they're scratches. So I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but see just there? See there? Anyway, that's that. Okay, let's get to the inside of the bag. And I am carrying what I usually carry in a bag this size. Of course, if I'm carrying a smaller bag, I will carry less. The inside of the bag has this beautiful dark brown. It's looking a little bit maroon there, but it is dark brown, like a felt. It's really nice. And obviously you could see the imprint of the quilts from underneath on the fabric. That's the continuation of the plaque, and it's got the screws in there. The inside of the bag is like this. So I'll show you what I have in it. Before I do, opening up the bag, can you see how it causes some screeches? Creases. So it does cause some creases there, but most of the time the bag will stay closed, so it won't be a problem too much. But that's what does happen. Doesn't bother me. And what do I have? First thing I have in here is a pair of sunglasses. Next item I have in there is, what are they called? Louis Vuitton Vernis Clay. Vernis Clay. And this is the old style with the plaque across the front and the pocket on the back. Then I have my 4-ring key holder. Then I have card holder, little Coach card holder. Then I have my mini pochette. Then I have another little pouch with some receipts and papers inside. And then just showing you what the bag looks like. There's like bits and bobs at the bottom. I have a packet of gum. I always have gum on me because I am petrified of bad breath. I have also a tissue, clean but all scrunched up. I have a receipt. I have a Kiki K pen. Why did I have to tell you it's Kiki K? I don't know, but it's Kiki K. 5-cent piece. a little Asian candy. And then, so it's the inner cavity just there, completely emptied, and it's all that felt sort of suede lining. The inside of the bag has that beautiful leather trimming just along there. Inside the bag, there is a back slip pocket along there, and I just have the Coach care cards, and this is my clipper bag hook. And that's it. So the inside here, it has a little fabric tag just there, which has a Coach logo. You can't see it, I think. And then of course there is the Creed that's on the back slip pocket. The front of the bag also does have one of these little slip pockets at the front. So that is the bag. Now, empty, it weighs nothing. Of course, the more you put in it, the more it will weigh. One thing I noticed in the very early days when the bag was empty, if I needed to close it, because the bag was still a little bit firm, you couldn't actually close it because you couldn't push this in enough for the turn lock to actually grip and turn. But now that I've used the bag, and I've been wearing this perhaps about 2 months straight, just about. The only time I switched out was when I used my Henry Bendel black wok for my dad's funeral. But then I switched back into this, and I've been using this because it just goes with everything, light or dark, I don't care, it just goes with everything. But now I can do that because it's given and it's much softer and pliable, and you can close it now while the bag is empty. So that's what's inside the bag. It's a great little bag. The leather feels soft. When I first bought it, it felt papery. You know, like some leathers have that slightly textured feel. It still doesn't feel like lambskin, for example, but it's much softer now, and it's got that squishiness to it. And that could be because possibly with use, you know, your natural oils from your hands, anything like that. I have given this once over clean, and that was just with the, what's it called? The Cadillac lotion. Now, a couple of little things that I've noticed. Now, bear in mind that this is an outlet bag. There are a couple of little things that I must admit I've noticed that can be perhaps viewed as a negative. And I'll show you, this is something I'm going to have to fix. I don't know if I should take this into Coach myself and have it fixed, or just something I can do myself. But I have a couple of loose stitches. So there is one here on the back, which has actually, I've just noticed it. Yeah, it's actually, hang on, let me do this. You see that? It's actually come away. It's sticking out and waving, hi, how are you? Look at me, I'm not so great. Then I also noticed at the front of the bag, on the front flap, there are a couple of little stitches here on the quilting, which I don't know if you can see, but they've puffed up and they're raised. So they're still connected, but they've like become loose. And there's a couple more just on there in that little group of stitches there, I must admit. Very hard to tell. This leather does scratch easily. I must admit, I've had to buff out a couple of little scratches, and they're just scratches that I've done myself by accident, just with my nails. And as you can see, I don't have long nails at all. But, you know, just in grabbing, you know, just carelessness, you know, doing things like that, it has scratched a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about this stitch. Should I bring it into Coach? I just don't know. You see it there? There it is. Look, say. I just don't know if Coach here in Australia will look after this, because I purchased this from the outlet. Not sure what to think. Now, how does this compare to maybe other boutique Coach bags? I don't know. The only one I have is the Parker, purchased directly from the boutique. This is from the outlet. And I know that sometimes they say the outlet bags are just slightly lower in quality. I don't know how that loose stitch came about. Could just be that it was just somehow wear and tear on my end, and I don't know, somehow it's knocked out or something. So I don't know what to do about that. Maybe I'll just take it to my cobbler, get him to like push it back in and put a bit of glue or something. I don't know. But anyway, the glazing is actually quite intact. There is glazing around the front of the flap. I haven't even thought about the glazing on this bag, to be honest. It's not like Louis Vuitton where you think about it all the time. And oh, here we go. Look at that. See? Just inside, There is glazing and it has split a little bit there. And front panel here is all intact. And yes, so where the bag naturally sort of bends and folds, there's a couple of little cracks. Oh well, collateral damage, what can I say? That's just the way it goes. That is the Coach Cassidy. Great little bag. It's a little workhorse, but it's a gorgeous little workhorse. Look at it. I mean, the coloring is just beautiful on this bag. I really love it. And even though I'm very warm toned and I tend to wear a fair bit of black. Oh, I wear a lot of black, especially lately. There's no color transfer. I don't know what it is. I haven't even thought about color transfer, to be honest, but there is none. And I mostly wear this crossbody. So there you go, guys. That's my Coach Cassidy. Let me know what you think of this bag. I think it's beautiful. Would I purchase this again? Yes. In a different color? Yes. Same color? Yes. I just love these little stud details. It just makes it stand out and be a little bit different. And I received many compliments on this bag. So there you go. Let me attach my gorgeous little bag charm back on. There we go. Even though that's gold hardware, don't care. It goes. I like it. So thanks, Lisa. Coach Platinum Cassidy review. Take care, everybody. God bless, and I'll see you next time. Bye.